You want a faster serve. Here are 5 things that will actually get you there. Not theory. Not stuff that sounds good but falls apart on court. Real, specific things you can take to practice tomorrow and feel a difference the same day. Here's what's interesting though. Most of the players chasing a faster serve are already working hard. They're practicing more, swinging harder, watching videos, and they're still stuck. Because the problem isn't effort. The problem is that a faster serve doesn't come from trying to serve faster. It comes from 5 specific mechanical things that almost nobody fixes. And some of them are going to surprise you, because they have nothing to do with how hard you swing. Let's get into it. 1. The trophy position is where everything starts. Before the racket even moves toward the ball, there's a moment in the serve where your whole body is loaded and ready. Coaches call it the trophy position. And if yours is off, everything that comes after it is already broken before it starts. The trophy position is the point right before you start swinging up at the ball. Your knees are bent, your weight is coiling, your tossing arm is pointing up toward the ball, and your racket arm is bent with the racket hanging behind your back, pointing roughly toward the back fence. When that position is solid, your body has stored energy the same way a spring stores energy when you compress it. The swing is just the spring releasing. Most players rush through this moment. They toss the ball and immediately start swinging, skipping the loading phase entirely. The result is a serve that's all arm and no body. And an all-arm serve is a weak serve, no matter how fast the arm moves. Here's the fix. In your next practice, slow everything down. Toss the ball, get into the trophy position, and hold it for 1 full second before you swing. It'll feel ridiculous. Do it anyway. You're training your body to recognize that position and trust it. Once your muscles know what it feels like to be properly loaded, they'll start getting there automatically at full speed. The hold is just how you build the pattern. 2. Your legs are doing almost nothing right now. This is the one that unlocks the most pace for the most people, and it's also the one that's most consistently ignored. Your legs are the biggest muscles in your body. They produce more force than your shoulder, your arm, your wrist combined. And on the serve, most players use them almost not at all. They bend their knees a little, they kind of straighten them at some point, and they call that a leg drive. It's not. It's barely a warm-up. Real leg drive on the serve looks like this. You coil down into a deep knee bend during the loading phase, genuinely deep, like you're about to jump. And then when you start the upward swing, you explode off the ground. Your heels actually come off the court. Your whole body is launching upward, and the racket is the last thing to release at the top of that. Jump. The ball isn't just being hit downward into the box. It's being launched upward and then crashing down with the weight of your whole body behind it. The way to train this is separate from actual serving at first. Stand at the baseline, get into trophy position, and just practice the jump with no swing and no ball. Feel your heels leave the ground, feel your body extend fully upward, feel that moment of maximum height. Do that 10 times, then add the swing. The goal is to make the jump and the swing feel like one connected explosion, not 2 separate things. When your legs finally connect with your serve, you'll add pace without adding any extra arm speed. The arm doesn't have to work harder. It just arrives later and faster because the whole body launched it. 3. You're hitting the ball, not snapping through it. There's a difference between hitting a serve and snapping a serve. Most people hit. The best servers in the world snap. And the difference in pace between those 2 things is enormous. When you hit the ball, your racket decelerates at contact. Your brain sees the ball coming, it braces for impact, and it slows down just before the strings make contact. This is the same deceleration problem that shows up in ground strokes. The racket is going fast, hits the ball, slows down. The energy gets absorbed instead of transferred. When you snap through the ball, your racket is actually accelerating through contact and into the follow-through. The fastest point in the whole swing is after where the ball was, not before it. The ball just happens to be in the way of that acceleration. That's how you get that loud crack sound on a pro serve. They're not just hitting fast. They're snapping through something that had nowhere to go but forward. To feel this, try serving without thinking about where the ball goes. Just focus on finishing the swing as fast as possible. Your racket arm should end up somewhere near your opposite hip after the swing, fully extended, through the follow-through. If your arm stops near your shoulder or your head, you decelerated. Keep going until the finish is the fastest part. Then worry about direction again. 4. Your toss is sabotaging everything. A bad toss is probably the most underrated reason for a weak serve, because when the toss is off, everything that happens after it is a compensation. and compensations kill power. The toss needs to go in one specific place, slightly in front of your hitting shoulder and just slightly to the right of your head if you're right-handed. Not directly above your head, not behind you, slightly in front and slightly right. That position is the only position where your body can fully extend upward and make contact at the highest possible point with the arm fully straightened. When the toss goes too far behind you, you arch backward like a bow and contact the ball while leaning back. It feels powerful because it's dramatic, but it's not. Your energy is going sideways instead of forward into the box. When the toss goes too far in front of you, you're reaching forward and losing height on the contact point. The serve flattens out and loses power. Here's the drill. Stand next to the baseline, hold your racket arm up above your head fully extended, and use your tossing arm to place the ball against the strings of your racket when it's at full extension. That spot right there. That's exactly where the toss needs to go. Not close to it. Exactly there. Practice the toss with no swing, just tossing and catching at that exact spot 20 times a session until placing the ball there feels as natural as breathing. When the toss is consistently in the right place, you'll stop compensating. And when you stop compensating, all the power you've been working on in the other tips will start showing up cleanly in the ball. 5. The wrist snap is the last piece and you're skipping it. Everything we've talked about, the trophy position, the leg drive, the acceleration, through contact, the clean toss, all of that builds energy and sends it up through your body and into your arm. But the very last thing that energy passes through before it hits the ball is your wrist. And most players lock their wrist up and waste all of it. The wrist snap on the serve is a pronation, a rotation of the forearm and wrist from a palm-facing backward position to a palm-facing forward position at the moment of contact. If that means nothing to you, here's the simple version. When your racket arm reaches the top of the swing, your palm is roughly facing behind you or up toward the sky. At contact, your palm should rotate to face the net or slightly downward. That rotation is the snap. That's the last burst of speed the racket picks up before it hits the ball. Without it, the racket head arrives at contact at whatever speed your arm got it to. With it, the racket head gets an extra kick at the last possible moment, like a whip cracking at the end. That's the difference you hear between a 90-mile-per-hour serve and a 115-mile-per-hour serve from two players who look like they're swinging at the same speed. To feel it, start with shadow swings. Swing slowly and consciously rotate your forearm at the top. Feel the racket head snap over. Then grab a ball and try serving with the only focus being that rotation at the top. Nothing else, just the snap. It'll take a while to trust it because it feels like you're losing control. You're not. You're gaining pace. Stay with it. So there are your 5. Trophy position to load properly. Leg drive to bring your whole body into it. Accelerate through the ball instead of hitting it. Consistent toss so you stop compensating. And wrist snap to get the last burst of speed at the very top. None of these are instant fixes, but every single one of them is something you can feel in the same session you start working on it. And the cool thing is, you don't have to fix all 5 at once. Pick the one that sounds most like you right now. Work on just that. Get it locked in, then come back and grab the next one. A faster serve is not about being stronger. It's about the energy in your body actually making it to the ball. These 5 things are what's been blocking that. Tennis is simple when you know what to work on. That's what we do here on Blue Tennis Dude. If this helped, drop a comment telling me which one you're going after first. And if you want to keep improving one clear idea at a time, subscribe. See you in the next one.